Hello, good morning everyone. We have seen class 9 science chapter number 4 structure of the atom part 1 and part 2. In part 2 video I had explained about the structure of the atom, Thomson's model of the atom, Rutherford's model of the atom, drawbacks of Rutherford's model of atom, and Bohr's model of atom. And I had told in the video second part that we will do in detail Bohr's model of an atom in the third part. So today I am going to explain in detail about the Bohr's model of the atom. So Neil Bohr had told us about some of the concepts of atom, and those concepts we call them, those ideas, those postulates we call them as Bohr's model of the atom. So what he had told, that an atom is made up of three particles: electron, proton and neutron. Electrons have negative charge, protons have positive charge, and neutrons have no charge. They are neutral. Due to the number of negative electrons and positive protons equal in an atom, the atom as a whole is neutral. Electrically neutral, we can say. Second point, we can say that the protons and the neutrons are located in the small nucleus as the center of the atom, and due to the presence of protons, nucleus is positively charged. Point number 3, we can say that the electrons revolve rapidly around the nucleus in fixed circular paths called energy levels or shells. This also I had explained in part video 2, that these shells, energy levels or energy shells or orbits, we call them as number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on, or K, L, M, N, O, P, etc. In point number 4, we can say there is a limit to number of electrons which each shell or each orbit can hold, and it has been told to us by Neil Bohr that the first energy level, the K shell, can have maximum 2 electrons, the L shell can hold maximum 8 electrons, the KLM, then M shell can hold maximum 18 electrons, and the fourth shell N can hold maximum 32 electrons, and so on. In point number 5, we can say that each energy level is associated with a fixed amount of energy. That means the shell nearest to the nucleus will have maximum energy, and the shell farther from the nucleus have the maximum energy. The shell nearest to the nucleus have minimum energy, and the shell farthest from the nucleus have maximum energy. In point number 6, we can say that there is no change in the energy of the electrons as long as they keep revolving in the same shell and the atom remains stable. The change in the energy of an electron takes place only when it jumps from lower energy level to the higher energy level, or we can say when it comes down from a higher energy level to the lower energy level. Whenever an electron gains energy, it jumps from lower energy level to higher energy level. And whenever an electron comes down from a higher energy level to lower energy level, it loses energy. Now next we have been given here about the neutrons. This I have already discussed in video part 1. Now we will see the next part, how are electrons distributed in different shells. So the distribution of electrons in different shells of an atom was suggested by Bohr and Bury together. And this just now I discussed in Bohr's model of an atom. The maximum number of electrons present in a shell is given by the formula 2n square. 2n square, where n is the orbit number, that means one number or two number or three number, like that. So if we have the first orbit or the K shell, then the formula is 2n square. So instead of n we will write 1 square 1, so 2 1 is 2. In the second orbit, that means the KL shell, 2n square, n value will be 2, 2 2 is 4, 4 2 is 8. Third orbit or M shell will be 2n square, n value 3, so 3 2 is 3 3 is 9, 9 2 is 18, because 3 power is 2, 3 3 is 9, 9 2 is 18. Similarly, you can get a fourth and so on. The maximum number of electrons that can be accommodated in the outermost orbit is 8. And the electrons are not accommodated in a given shell unless the inner shells are filled, that is, the shells are filled in a stepwise manner. But this is applicable up to class 9-10. When you will go to class 11-12, you will study, there are exceptional cases. When you will study about the orbitals, sp, df, etc., then you will see that although the innermost shells are not filled, in some of the cases the next shell is being filled with the electron, or electrons has been transferred to the next shell. So these all exceptional cases you will study in upper classes. Next we have been given here atomic structure. The first 18 elements are shown systematically here in figure 4.4. Atomic structure of the first 18 elements have been shown in figure 4.4. So here is figure 4.4 given to us in this diagram. This is the diagram. You can see one electron in the first orbit. Here helium, hydrogen, then helium, 2 electrons. Then lithium, first orbit 2 electron, next one. Beryllium, what we have in the beryllium, you can see here first orbit 2, again the next one 2, and similarly you can see a boron, first orbit 2 and the next one 3. Then carbon, first orbit 2 electrons, next one 4 electrons. Nitrogen, first orbit 2 electrons, next one 5 electrons. Here we have oxygen, first orbit 2 electrons, the next one second orbit the 6 electrons. Fluorine, the first orbit 2 electrons, the next one 7 electrons. Then we have got neon, the first orbit 2 and the second one 8 electrons. Similarly, we have got our sodium. Sodium, here we have got first orbit 2 electrons, second orbit 8 electrons, and third one 1 electron. So how these number we are able to tell where it is 1. So we have learned here that in the first orbit 2, 8 and then so on. So see, when we know the atomic number, here it has been given to us, we will know the atomic number. You all will by heart the atomic number of at least 1 to 21. Here it is up to 18 only given. So when you will go to class 10, up to class 10 you have been told to study up to first 20 elements, name, their symbol, their atomic number, their mass number. So here atomic number is being given to us. So what is atomic number? We will see in the later part of this chapter, but let me tell you the definition here, that atomic number means the number of electrons present in an atom, or you can say the number of protons present in atom, because electron number may change, electron number keeps on changing because it may donate or accept electron. So the best definition of atomic number is the number of protons present in an atom is known as its atomic number. In a neutral atom, number of protons and number of electrons are equal. So when we are doing the electronic configuration, then what happens, we know in the first cell 1 electrons accommodates for hydrogen, because it has atomic number 1, the first orbit can accommodate a maximum of 2, but since it has got only one electron, so what will happen? One electron will come here. You try to understand in this way, that you have in your house a number of rooms, and in first room there can maximum 2 guests can sleep or 2 guests can rest. Such a way it has been made. But suppose one guest comes to your house, then what will happen? You will place him or her in that room. So in the same way, hydrogen has got atomic number 1. So first one, it will go to the K shell. Now K shell can accommodate maximum number of 2 electrons. That means the first room of your house has got a capacity to accommodate 2 guests. So in helium 2 guests are there. You can say 2 electrons are there, or you say suppose one day 2 guests have come. So both of them you will accommodate in the K shell. Now similarly lithium has atomic number 3. Lithium atomic number is 3. So first room can accommodate only 2 guests in your house. So in the first room you can shift 2 guests, and the remaining third one you will send to the next room. In the same way, here these atoms has got K shell, L shell, such a way that the K shell, the first cell, can accommodate only 2 electrons, but lithium has got 3 electrons. So what will it do? In the first orbit it will accommodate 2 electrons, and the third one will go to the K shell. Similarly, it is the beryllium case. In the beryllium, what we have, it has got atomic number 4. That means 2 electrons in the first shell, and again the remaining 2 in the next shell. In this way, you can understand that the first cell can accommodate a maximum of 2. So you see, in each case only 2 can go, never 3 is written here. Next you can see the K then L shell can accommodate a maximum of 8 electrons. So in the same way, you see, suppose boron is there 5, so 2 in the first cell, 3 in the next. Carbon, first cell 2, and next cell 4. Next we have got nitrogen 7, so it will go first cell 2, remaining 5 in the second one. Oxygen atomic number 8, so first cell 2 electrons, and in the second shell 6. Fluorine atomic number 9, first cell 2 electrons, next cell 7. Neon 10, so atomic electronic configuration 2 and 8, so first cell 2 and next one 8. Next we have oxygen 8, so 2 comma 6. Fluorine 9, 2 comma 7, that means first cell 2 and next one 7 electrons. Then a neon one 10, so first orbit 2, remaining 8 in the second orbit. Now you understand in this way that the first cell can accommodate 2, second one 8, and third one 18. So in sodium case, you see it has got atomic number 11, that means it has got 11 electrons and 11 protons. So when we will do electronic configuration, we will do the distribution of electrons. So in the first cell we will shift 2 electrons, in the second shell 8, because maximum 8 can only go, and 1 electron we will shift to the next shell, the M cell. Next what we have, magnesium 12. So when we will do the distribution of electron, then we will have 2 in the first shell, 8 in the second shell, and again 2 remaining 2 in the third shell. Aluminium electronic configuration of atomic number 13, it will be 2, 8 and 3, because the first shell accommodate only 2, second shell can accommodate 8, and the third shell remaining 3 we will put. Similarly, we have silicon. In silicon, what we have? Atomic number 14. So first shell 2 electrons, second shell 8 electrons, and third one 4 electrons. Phosphorus 15. So in the first cell it will accommodate 2 electrons. The next one it will accommodate 8, and the remaining 5 in the third shell. Next we have sulfur. In sulfur it has atomic number 16. So first shell 2 electrons, second one 8 and third one 6. Chlorine atomic number 17. So first shell 2 electrons, second shell 8 and third shell 7 electrons. Argon 18. So first one 2 electrons, second shell 8 electrons and the third one remaining 8 electrons. So you all must learn the atomic number, the name of these elements, their symbol, their atomic number, their electronic configuration. And see here in the middle it has been shown to us the number of protons, the number of neutrons and number of electrons. So in a neutral atom the number of protons and number of electrons are always equal. So you will, whatever will be the atomic number, same will be the number of electrons and number of protons. So you will not have problem while learning them. Next is number of neutrons. So the number of neutrons is depending upon the mass number. Because mass number means number of neutrons plus number of protons. So whatever will be the mass number, from that if we will subtract this number of protons, what we will get? We will get the number of neutrons. So mass number in class 9 you need not learn, but you will learn these all what I have told. Okay, then we will see the next part of the chapter in another video. Study nicely. Wish you all the best. Thank you.